Hello, welcome back. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to provide excellent services, and it's going to be the last lesson for this course. Again, we have many toolkit there that you can use. Pwede nyo gamitin yun as a step or as a guide, and those are free. I created for you. Again, kasama yun dito sa course na to. And so let's talk about how you're gonna provide excellent service kapag nakapag-sign na kayo ng contract with the client. So this is gonna be based on my experience as a virtual assistant for 20 plus years, and as a recruitment manager and at the same time business owner. Kasi ito yung mga nakikita ko na dapat, na I'm hoping na maintindihan ninyo as a virtual assistant. Kasi nga, it's very important para sa akin na malaman ninyo yung mga do's and don'ts sa pagiging virtual assistant para kayo ay mag-succeed at the same time to be able to have a happy customer and that you are providing a good quality service. So pag-usapan muna natin, or let's talk about the do's. The do's, yung mga bagay na dapat ninyong ginagawa once na nag-start na kayo as a freelancer, as a virtual assistant. So number one is communicate clearly and promptly. So guys, ganito ang experience ko. Nag-hire kami, and this is one of the example ng communicate clearly and promptly. Kasi again, we are talking about the value of time, the value of money, and again, there's so many factors that will affect if we don't have the right communication promptly and clearly. So example nito, nag-hire kami ng isang bookkeeper. And during the initial interview, she seems fit and have the qualifications that we need. So I rely on that experience, solely on the experience that she have. Kasi nga, again, meron siyang mga knowledge dun sa mga tools na kinakailangan namin. So hinire namin siya. After namin siyang ma-hire, and then during the onboarding, syempre meron yung orientation and onboarding para ma-familiarize ka dun sa mga system and then sa business processes, internal processes. Kaya may onboarding. So during the onboarding, yung department head nag-message sa akin. Kasi syempre ako yung nag-recruit, isa ako sa nag-endorse. So nag-message sa akin yung department manager, and then sabi nila, hey Lisa, itong si ganito, hindi siya nag-attend ng second day of onboarding. And I think yung onboarding, yung first day ng onboarding niya, nag-login lang siya and then nothing is done. So major red flag na yon para sa amin. And then sabi ko sa kanya, tinanong ko yung department manager kung ano gusto niyang gawin. So sabi niya, we'll see, I'm just giving you a heads up na ganito na yung nangyayari during the onboarding. So after nun, wala na ako narinig kasi I have my own job too. I have several dealings, so na-forget ko na yon. So I think nag-continue na sila doon sa kanilang onboarding, and after I think two months, natapos niya yung kanyang onboarding kasi ano siya, sa accounting siya, so maraming mga trainings and orientation processes na kailangan niya gawin kasi maghahandle siya ng maraming clients. And then after 2 months, ang nangyari, nag-message ulit sa akin yung department head, sabi niya, hindi nag-show up itong VA na to. Hindi ko alam kung anong problem. We are trying to reach out sa kanya. Lagi siyang may excuse. May sakit daw siya. May ganito. Lagi may excuse. Kumbaga, you name it. Naisip mo na kung lahat na pwede may excuse. Nasamahan yung anak, may problem, ganyan. Kasi maraming yung excuses. So, ang advice ko is to put that in writing and then document lahat ng mga ano niya, and make sure na yung mga communication niya is supported or yung mga reklamo nila ay supported. So, they documented it. And then still, nag-proceed pa rin sila na introduce yung VA sa client. Nag-handle siya ng several clients. And then after, I think, 9 months, kasi may clients na nagreklamo. After 9 months, nag-message ulit sa akin yung department head and even yung director namin, and sabi nila, we have to do something daw dun sa ano. Kasi nga, hindi nag-show up and then nagkakaroon ng problem. Nagreklamo yung mga clients kasi hindi nagalaw yung books. Could you imagine, within 9 months, bibihira pa sa patak ng ulan niya na clean up yung books, na reconcile yung books. Siyempre, magagalit si client. Naka-monthly subscription yung client. So, siyempre, galit na galit si client. And then, nung tinatry na nila i-reach out si PA, ang dami na namang excuse. Sabi niya, okay, in-accept niya, mag-meeting, ganyan-ganyan, kasi hahanapan siya ng paliwanag. Hindi naman dahil para pagalitan siya or whatever, para lang malaman yung current situation ng mga clients, para mabigyan siya ng support. That's the purpose of that meeting. Siya, hindi siya nag-attend, and marami siyang excuse, and then, nag-accept siya ng meeting as hindi siya nag-show up. It's very unprofessional. Kaya masabi ko, what's the difference of being honest and communicating promptly kung may issue ka sa family mo or whatever, kung ano man ang issue mo. Maintindihan ka naman nila. Don't put yung client mo at saka yung ibang colleagues mo into any further problems, nag-create ka ng maraming issues. Kaya nga sabi ko, kung hindi mo gusto na mag-VA, then don't apply. Kumbaga, yung pagiging VA ay hindi yan para sa lahat. Kumbaga, available siya, open siya para sa lahat na gusto maging VA. However, it won't work for everybody. It's not for everyone. So, kaya importante yung clear communication and prompt response. Kasi paano kung may risk na associated doon sa situation mo? So, at least ma-backupan ka. Kasi usually, kapag ka nag-VA ka, may mga backup naman si customer or si client para kung sakaling hindi ka maka-attend or hindi mo magawa, alam nila, masusuportahan ka na either them na yung gagawa ng work mo or maghahanap sila ng somebody to buffer you. Hindi to fire you or to cancel your contract. Pero again, huwag kayong magpaasa. Communicate clearly and honestly. Second ng things to do to provide excellent service is set clear expectations. Kasi again, ano ba yung mga dapat mong iset na expectation? Again, sa work hours. Sa halimbawa from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Philippine time ba yan? Australian time ba yan? Or gusto nila US hours like Eastern time, so magiging graveyard shift? Okay ka ba doon? And then communicate that with the client. And then sa budget, okay ka ba doon? So during the orientation, nalaman mo na itong mga items na to hindi kasama doon sa na-discuss during the contract signing. Merong ganito. So again, communicate. And then yung expectation mo na i-list down mo and then talk to your client. Kasi sabi mo, oh, this is an additional scope of work. Or pwede kang i-negotiate mo. Again, set a clear expectation. And then, ang i-expect mo din kapag nag-virtual assistant ka, walang masyadong support. You are on your own. Kasi you are expected to provide a professional services already that you are bringing value. And right immediately after they hire you. Kaya, again, if you don't set a clear expectation, baka ma-burnout ka. And then, again, it will just lead you to more frustration. Kaya it's important na you and your clients are in the same page when it comes to expectation, okay? Number 3 na you should do is deliver high-quality work. When I say deliver high-quality work, do some initiatives. Kumbaga, sometimes kasi kapag expect, halimbawa, kung sa bookkeeping, and-expect nila na gagawa ka ng weekly bookkeeping, pero ginagawa mo ng daily, so that's a good one. Pero again, if it's eating much of your time, if it's not according to your rate, then don't do that. When I say high quality work, make sure na walang masyadong errors. Si client hindi na masyadong mag-check ng iyong work. Kasi tayong mga Pilipino, guys, eto as a recruiter again, as a business owner din, experience ko kasi, ang experience ko kasi, konti lang dito yung work experience ko sa Pilipinas. Most of my work experience talaga ay overseas. Kasi, I think, 2 to 3 years lang yata yung aking experience dito sa Pilipinas, and then the rest of my experiences ay puro international na lahat. Kaya when it comes to working situation or sa quality ng work, and I would say that culture na rin kasi ng mga Pilipino. Ang mga Pilipino kasi, kung ano lang yung sinabi sa'yo na gagawin mo, yun lang yun. And then sometimes hindi tayo nag-i-initiative. And then meron tayong tinatawag na seniority kasi dito, di ba, sa Philippines, na kapag supervisor mo lang ikaw mag-rely, yes ka lang ng yes, hindi ka mag-reklamo kasi nahihiya ka kasi supervisor mo siya. Pero sa ibang bansa kasi, lalo na sa mga nag-VA, although nandun pa rin yung mutual respect, pero if you think na you can say something, you can suggest something, and you can deliver more than their expectation, you are, feel free to voice out, feel free to talk it out to them, and then in a polite way, in a professional way na, hey, I have this idea, and this is my suggestion, would you consider it? Mga ganong style. Pero kasi, another na example, as a recruiter, so ganito naman. So, nag-hire kami sa HR. So, nag-provide ako, nag-shortlist ako ng isang junior, at saka, not really junior, medyo nasa mid-level na yung kanyang experience as an HR assistant, and then nag-provide ako ng isang seasoned HR professional. So now, ang sinelect ng HR director namin is yung junior. So, tinanong ko siya kung bakit yun yung ang kanyang sinelect. So, hindi ko alam kung may something intimidation kasi medyo younger pa rin naman yung HR director, pero US kasi siya. So, may mga ganun kasing factor na sometimes ayaw nila yung medyo na sa tingin nila is mas magaling sa kanya or something. But we are not in competition with them. Ang suggest ko nga sa inyo is, our goal is to provide good quality services for them para ma-maintain natin yung ating relationship sa kanila at continuous yung ating work, diba? Pero again, when it comes to senior level ng career, usually binibigay nila yun sa mga kalahi nila. They barely gave it to somebody na virtual assistant. Although, they are open for, sa mga ladder-rise promotion, they're open to that. Pero yung mga higher level naman, hindi sila nag-open ng position. But, I mean, again, siguro depends pa rin yun sa company, pero hindi ako nagkaroon pa ng experience na ginawa nilang senior leadership yung isang VA. Meron silang ginagawang consultant and ginagawa nilang manager, pero never na naging executive or senior leadership. Laging manager or, director, because yung director naman kasi sa kanila parang manager na din lang or team lead lang naman or department leader, parang ganun. Yung kanilang description doon sa mga position na ganun. Pero again, so back tayo dun sa kwento ko na nag-hire ako ng, shortlist ako ng junior at saka ng season. So, hinire nila yung junior. Now, dahil si junior, hindi siya sanay ng may initiative na yung bang parang mag-initiative ng mga suggestions, na mga ganyan. Kasi kung ikaw, ang experience mo is medyo nasa senior level na, you know what to do, alam mo na yung mga dapat gawin, and then yung mga initiatives, and then yung mga tipong suggestions and consultation, yung mag-provide ka ng mga consultation, expert consultation or suggestion, isa sa yun sa mga bagay na hinahanap nila sa atin as a virtual assistant. Pero kasi yung mga junior level or mid-level pa, parang takot silang mag-suggest, takot silang mag-input, and yun yung sa culture kasi natin mga Pilipino na meron tayong daw sa sarili natin, kailangan ba ako mag-suggest? O baka okay lang ba mag-suggest? Sometimes kaya yung mismo pag-send ng email sa Slacks or sa kung ano man yung communication skills, is communication tools na ginagamit ng client is medyo natatakot pa tayo na mag-send ng message. I know the feeling kasi ako ganun ako kahit nung nag-start pa lang ako ng mag-virtual assistant kasi sabi niya sa akin, mag-send ka ng message dito sa isang particular communication tool and then kapag sinend mo yung message na yan, lalabas daw dun yung information ng support so pwede ko daw makuha and distribute ko dun sa department. Ako naman, kasi takot akong gumamit ng tools nila, baka mamali ako or baka ang nasisip ko kasi pag sinend ko tong message na to, sino makakakita tong message na to? Sino? Baka mali. Minsan naman kasi syempre hindi. Ako kasi before, hindi ako confident sa English ko na sinasabi ko na isa kasi sa weakness ko yung English ko yung speaking of English or yung grammar ko. Ang hagi ko nasa isip na, baka pag nag-send ako ng message na to, mali yung grammar, nakakahiya. So, nagkakaroon na ng something na nag-hold back sa akin nun. And then, I think, ganito din yung nangyari dun sa na-hire namin na junior. So, hindi siya makapag-suggest, hindi niya alam kung ano yung mga kailangan niyang gawing initiative. Although part naman kasi yun na ang responsibilities niya nung na-hire siya. Pero again, yun nga, kailangan natin mag-provide ng quality work in a way na we are inputting values. Kasi alam niyo ba, kung paano kayo mag-step up yung inyong career as a virtual assistant para mapadali yung progress ninyo is always have initiative, always have something to say or to suggest. Baga, think out of the box. And then, your clients will always love that. They are always open to suggestion. May mga clients, hindi naman lahat ng clients open to suggestion. And then, may mga clients naman na very open talaga sa suggestion. So, you have to know your clients. Again, sabi ko nga, isa sa mga dapat ninyong pag-aralan is you have to know your clients. And then, you know your values. Kapag kailangan yung pag-select ng clients ninyo. And that's the thing about being virtual assistant. You have the autonomy to decide which type of customer you wanted to work with. Yung values nila, yung character nila, you have the autonomy to select and to feel it yourself. Unlike nung basta-basta ka lang nag-a-apply ng job na no choice kahit hindi mo gusto yung character ng supervisor mo, you have no choice, you have to work with them. So that's something that is, something that is good about being a virtual assistant. So again, guys, provide good quality services. Huwag yung basta-basta magpo-provide lang kayo ng work na okay, gagawin ko to kasi ito lang hinihingi nila. Okay, then submit. Ni-review. Kailangan pa, minsan nga kapag mga junior yung naman-ahay namin, pag nag-submit sila, kailangan pa namin reviewin yung document. So, para magsiset pa kami ng another set of UI to review, which is time-consuming. Kaya nga kami nag-hire ng VA kasi we rely on your expertise and then the quality of your work. Tapos gagawin, i-redo pa ulit namin. So, yun yung sometimes na nagiging frustration ni customer kapag ka nagpo-provide ang isang Pilipino, yung quality of work. Sometimes naman gusto nila kasi may mga Pilipino talagang eager mag-suggest. Minsan naman kasi na-overdo naman natin. Kaya again, know your limit, know your boundaries, and then again, just provide good quality services that will make your clients happy. And then another things that you should do is be open for feedback. Kasi nga, mag-grow lang tayo kapag nakaka-receive tayo ng feedback. Kung hindi nag-feedback si client, then you should take initiative to ask, hey, what can you say about my work? Kapag ka nagsabi na kayo, halimbawa, specific project or task, always ask for feedback. And then kapag na-receive niyo yung feedback na is be open to it. Minsan naman kasi kapag hindi gusto ni client yung ating work, sasabihin talaga nila, very sarcastic sila sometimes, sa mga American, they are sarcastic and very straightforward people na kapag hindi nila gusto yung work mo, sasabihin nila, oh, I don't like it, this is not how I expect it to be. Can you revise it? So, huwag kayong ma-feel hurt doon, huwag kayong magtatampo. Just keep your professionalism and then just revise it according to what they ask you to do. Kasi side example yan, guys. Ganito ha. So, nag-apply ako, bago pa lang ako noon, siguro mga 2 years pa lang ako nag-a-apply ng virtual assistant. And parang pa second companies or third companies pa lang na virtual assistant na in-applyan ko yun. And naging pa isa-isa lang yung aking ina-applyan na client. And then, nag-apply ako as executive assistant. And then, kailangan ng executive ng report or presentation. And then, he was very specific naman sa pagbigay sa akin ng mga gagawin ko. Nakasulat naman or ni-write down naman niya yung mga gagawin. So, okay ni sa akin. Kaya lang kasi ako, very imaginative. And kasi the way my brain works, I am very imaginative. I am very analytic person. So, pagkabasa ko ng content, nung document na gusto niyang mangyari, nagkaroon na kagad ako ng imagination to the max na, kailangan kong gawin to, pag ginawa ko to, maganda to, baka matuwa. So, I was aiming to please my boss dun sa gagawin ko. Diba? So, kasi our intention is good, our intention is, kumbaga, is for the good of our boss, for good quality yung work natin, we are aiming for that. Pero again, nakalimutan ko na may specific instruction yung client o yung boss ko, yung client ko. So, I still did it my way. And then, nung sinabmit ko sa kanya yan, alam niyo ba yung response niya? Sabi niya, what is this, Lisa? I didn't ask you to do this. This is not what I want. So, parang, na-hurt ako. Parang, mangilid-gilid pa nga yung luha ko. Kasi parang, hindi niya nagustuhan eh. Todo effort pa nga ako. Parang ganyan. Parang, ganda-ganda nga nung gawa akong presentation. Parang gano'n. Ninakapit ko yung sarili ko. Pero sabi niya, this is not what I want. I told you, this is the thing that I wanted to do. You should do it. Parang gano'n sabi niya. So, ginawa ko, ni-revise ko na lang, pero nagtatampo ako noon kasi at the same time, pero at the end of the day, nagkaroon din naman ako ng realization. After kong i-revise, according dun sa gusto niya yung document, so sinend ko sa kanya, and then he was very happy. Sabi niya, oh, that's good, this is great, thank you. And then after nun, wala na siyang feedback. Nag-thank you pa nga siya. Ako naman kasi medyo nahimasmasan na ako, sabi ko, oh nga, nagsayang ako ng oras. Bakit kasi sinusunod ko yung gusto ko? Eh, dapat yung boss ko ang sinusunod ko, dapat yung his way, not my way. Parang mga ganun ba? So, lesson learned yun sa akin na sometimes huwag tayong masyadong nag-expect ng todo. Kumbaga, always listen to your client. Always listen to your customer. And then, just do it their way. And then, kapag ginawa mo yung way nila, unless na mag-ask sila ng, do you have any suggestion? Then, ngayon pa lang ikaw mag-effort na yung suggestion mo. Pero kung hindi naman sila nag-ask ng suggestion mo, wag naman. Lalo kapag mga importante and crucial yun sa time. Again, they are open for suggestion, but again, pick the timing kung kailan kayo mag-i-insert or mag-suggest. Kasi nga, huwag nyo i-insist yung sa inyong suggestion. And also, another things that you should do is always be mindful with the deadline. Lalo kapag may mga reports silang hinihingi or may mga pinagagawa sila, before accepting a task or yung mga pinagagawa nila, kailangan, meron kayong follow-up question na, when do you need this? Or, when is the deadline for this? Para alam nyo, ma-manage nyo yung time niyo kung kailan nyo i-deliver. And make sure na, you submit it on time or at least before the deadline. Kasi usually, ako sa sarili ko, kapag may mga hinihiling na reports sa akin, I always make sure that I allocated at least 3 days for them to review. Kasi lalo na kung mga executive yung kausap mo or yung mga clients mo. Kasi usually they are busy people, so they don't have time to do immediate review. So you have to give them, some time to review, and then mag-allocate kayo ng time na hindi yung, halimbawa, deadline na February 14 muna siya isa-submit. Unless na pinagawa niya yun ng umaga, tapos kailangan yun ng 3 o'clock, then that's different situation, that's different scenario. Pero kung scenario naman yung sinabi nila, I need that on February 14, so February 11 pa lang, make sure na nasubmit mo na to give them ample of time to review, and then give yourself a time also to do the modification needed kung kinakailangan natin magkaroon ng modification. And then again, yung mag-follow up kayo kapag malapit na yung deadline tapos hindi pa sila nag-feedback, make sure na you follow up with them just to make sure na hindi kayo masisisi. Kasi again, that's one of the things that they are paying us for, to follow up and then do our job. Another thing to do is always make sure that you are organized and reliable. Kasi guys, ito nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, isa sa advantages na pagiging virtual assistant, and you are able to have several clients. However, kung hindi ka naman organized na person, magra-rumble yung iyong schedule. Sometimes hindi ka mag-organize. So baka nga ma-mix up pa yung mga emails mo or yung mga calls mo, even the names of the app. I know that kasi guilty ako dyan. Kasi sometimes, nasa meeting ako ng isang client ko and then I'm talking about the application or yung mga tools na ginagamit ko dun sa client. Like, bakit pa nasubmit ko yan? And then they will correct me during the presentation. Like, are you talking about bill pay or are you talking about big time? Kasi minsan nami-mix up ko yung mga software na ginagamit. Kasi, normal lang naman yun. But, I mean, kung hindi ka ganun ko organized na tao, you have to be mindful kung ilang clients yung kaya mong i-handle. Ayaw mo ka namang maging mixed up. And then, reliable in a way na kapag kailangan ka nila, pag halimbawa sa contract mo, gusto nila, available ka ng ganitong time, so you have to make sure na you are available during those hours kasi they are paying you during those hours. And then sometimes, do not overcommit. Kasi sometimes, kapag binigyan tayo ng project or ng task ng client, nag-overcommit, okay, I can do it, I'll do it tomorrow. Pero, 3 araw na hindi mo pa nagagawa. Kaya, do not overcommit kung sa tingin ninyo is, hindi nyo naman magagawa. Again, if you are an organized person, you know if you can commit, if you know if you are overcommitting, or you know if you will be able to deliver the things that they need on time. So, yun, kailangan natin yung pag-aralan kung sakaling hindi pa ninyo yun nagagawa. And again, those are the things that you should do once you started working as a virtual assistant. And the last but not the least, the things that you should do is maintain professionalism. Well, ang kagandahan kasi dito, when I say professionalism, ang kagandahan kasi dito sa pagiging virtual assistant is if you build a good relationship with your customer, parang nagiging friend na kayo sometimes. Kumbaga, nagjo-joke-joke na kayo. Sometimes, nakukwento mo na yung mga personal bagay na personal things about you. Nasi-share mo na yung mga dapat hindi i-share. So again, keep your professionalism. Do not overshare your life sa iyong clients. Although it's okay naman na mag-share, pero at least sometimes, kapag hindi ninyo siya in-overshare yung personal matters ninyo sa kanya. And it's good thing na dapat siniset aside natin yung ating personal life sa ating work. And that's the best way to do that. Kasi we don't want our customer or our clients to have some negative impression about that on how we deal with our life. Kasi sometimes they will project that with our, to our work or the things that we do for them. We have to always consider upholding a higher level of ethical professionalism when we are dealing with our clients, like when it comes to communication, when it comes to reliability, when it comes to concern or being person who they can rely on, not only for business but also for other aspect of their life as well. Again, it's okay to build a good relationship with the customer, and that's okay. And I think that's the best thing that you can do for your customer is to build a good relationship. But again, do not overdo it. Just keep everything professional, and again, avoid sharing too much personal information. Although sometimes, like me, since one of my clients, the IDM, they treat me like a family. Sometimes I stay in their house in the US, and I take care of their son, and I go shopping with his wife. So that's okay, but at least you know your limit, you know your boundaries. You can share with them some of the aspect of your life, but not like 100%, because at least that's for me and how I keep my relationship with them, because I'm with that company for 8 years now. We had a business partnership as well in the past, and kapag maganda yung relationship mo sa kanya, and then if you keep professionalism, there's nothing that will hold them back not to trust. And if they trust you, they will take care of you, they will take care of your family as well, and they will take care of your well-being. And at the same time, you will feel at home, you will feel like you're part of the company, and you will feel like part of the company, of the family, and part of the family. So, to provide good quality service, again, do not overpromise and under-deliver. Always, keep your words to them. Do not miss deadline without communication. Again, kapag medyo maalangan kayo sa mga deadlines, and if you are not able to make it, upfront, communicate it with them so that they can do something to help you out. Kasi again, wala namang kasing issues na mag-a-arise kung kayo ay nakikipag-communicate well with the client. And that kapag may mga questions kayo, always ask. Don't hesitate to ask. Kasi ang problem sa ating mga Pilipino, kapag natatakot tayo, nahihiya tayo mag-ask sometimes nga. Kaya again, sinasabi ko na it's important na confident kayo sa inyong communication in English, kasi most of the time, kapag may mga question kayo, you have to reach out. And then, kung hindi kayo comfortable talking to them in English, and then hindi kayo confident sa English ninyo, it will be difficult for you to reach out to them. And then may stuck kayo sa isang task na it could be done easily or differently, pero na-stuck kayo doon kasi nga you are hesitant to communicate well with them. And then, do not ignore client's feedback or concern. Again, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kapag may sinabi si client, always listen to them. Always hear their feedback and do corrective action so that it will not happen again. And then, sa pag-BBA ko, at saka sa pag-BBA ko for 20 plus years, I have done so many mistakes. I have done so many unforgettable moments that I should not be doing that I did. That I hope that, I was like looking back now and, oh my God, why I did that. But those are kind of learning experience for me at the same time. But, again, that's why I'm sharing this with you. Like, do not ignore your client's feedback or concern, kasi those are the things that means, they are unhappy with something, it doesn't mean that they are unhappy with your performance as a whole, but there is some aspect or part of your work that they are not happy or anything that they want you to correct. It's okay. Be open with any suggestions or any feedback, but always listen to them and be open to amend or correct those feedback. Kasi it's a part of growing and learning as well. Huwag kayo magtatanim ng sama ng loob sa kanila. And again, do not underestimate the importance of communication. Again, communication is very crucial when it comes to virtual assistants. Kasi you are working on your own, you are just working inside your room or wherever in the world you're gonna work as a virtual assistant. But if you don't communicate with your clients, again, be honest, be precise, make it short, but make your communication short, but you know, you are able to say all the important things to say to them, and then avoid anything that will hold you back to communicate with them. Like, natatakot kayo, uy, may nagawa akong mali, dapat ko ba itong itago sa kanila or dapat ko bang sabihin sa'yo? Always tell them. But again, kapag may nagawa kayong mali, the way, yung approach kasi ninyo, the way you approach the client and say your mistake will have impact against the result, sa end result ng inyong approach. Kaya sabi ko nga, always make sure na you communicate in a professional manner. And always apologize if may mali talaga kayo, apologize ninyo. And then before kayo magsabi, ito ang suggestion ko ha, before kayo magsabi, halimbawa may nagawa kayong mali or may halimbawa sa mga financial report, may mga bagong dapat baguhin and may something na kailangang may affected na department or anything na halimbawa customer. Kapag may something na mag-create ito ng more issues and problem, crucial issues or problem. So be upfront, say it immediately, and then, but think of some solution before you say it to them. But don't wait too long. Kumbaga, kapag nagsabi ka sa kanila ng isang issue, have some solution so that, oh, but I can do this. Halimbawa, namali ka sa financial statement, and then, yung value na mali, and then malaking impact yun sa tax nila. So you can always amend it, and then always tell them like, hey, this is the thing that I can do. I can amend this, and this is my suggestion, and this. And then let them decide kung ano ang gusto nilang i-decide. And then, pag sinabi nila na, okay, whatever you think is right, then just do it. Good and well, di ba? Pero kung sinabi lang, nag-raise sila ng concern, medyo nag-flip yung utak nila, sabi lang, oh, bakit ganyan? So that's normal reaction, lalo na kung may mga malaking effect yun sa business nila, and be ready to accept that and just always listen. Do not say anything further. Just listen to them and accept your mistake. And then you will keep the professionalism. And then again, it's not the end of the world. Kapag nagkakaroon ako ng mga fault or error, lalo sinasabi sa sarili ko na it's not end up. Hindi dahil sa proud ako or something, but I'm trying to pat myself. Pero again nga, I admit my mistake. I find solution to remedy or at least, to resolve the issues. But at the same time, I pat myself kasi wala namang ibang magpapat ng sarili mo kundi ikaw lang, lalo kapag virtual assistant ka and you're working on your own. And then lagi mong best buddy mo yung sarili mo. And then it's not the end of the world. Kumbaga, may mali, i-correct natin. Pero hindi yung end of the world. Huwag kang maging negative kasi meron akong kulig na ganyan na may mali siya tapos mag-reach out na sa akin sa communication tool namin, sabi niya, Lisa, baka matsugi na ako, baka matanggal na ako, baka hindi ako bayaran. So, full of negative na kagad yung isip niya. Nakakatawa minsan na, isipin na, ayan ka naman, si Miss Nega, yaman na, okay lang yan. Nagawa naman ng paraan. So, ganun lang. Kumbaga, it's not the end of the world. Okay? Again, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, another example is do not disregard client instructions or preference. Huwag masyadong epal. Kahit masabihin mong mas magaling ka sa kanya, mas knowledgeable ka sa kanya, always make sure na sinusunod mo muna yung gusto nila kasi they are your boss. Ngayon, kapag lumabas na yung result na mali yung kanilang suggestion, it's your time to say like, hey, I have a suggestion. Are you open to listen or are you open to doing this amendment? So, up to them. Kumbaga, binibigyan mo sila. Pero again, gawin mo muna yung pinagagawa nila. Kasi many times, nangyari yan sa akin. Kasi ako, I love automation. I love doing processes and procedures to make the life of every department easy para yung mga repetitive tasks is hindi na nila gagawin. Kumbaga, just click na lang sila ng mga button. Yan. I love doing that. And that's how I progress with my career as a virtual assistant before. And then, so may suggestions si client. And then, I was listening. Pero yung analytic mind ko nga again, kasi ako nga sa processes ako, sa processes and procedures and analytic yung mind ko. So, habang nagsasabi sa akin si client ng mga gusto niyang mangyari, umiikot na kagad yung utak ko, na sabing, kasi ako parang what if, what else, mga ganyung mga formula na kagad yung nasa isip ko kapag nagsasabi sa akin ng something si client. So, nakikinig ako sa kanya and then sa mind ko, kapag ginawa ko to, itong mangyayari. Kapag ginawa ko to, ganito mangyayari. So, I'm still listening naman kung ano yung sinabi niya. And then, at the end of nagsalita na siya, tapos na siya, when it's time naman sa part ko para magsalita, sinabi ko yung concern ko. And then sinabi ko sa niya, are you open to, for me to do this? Ganyan. Sabi niya, no, just let's try my suggestion first, or my idea first. So, okay, I did it. Ginawa ko yung idea niya, and then it doesn't work. And then, sabi niya, it's okay, let's try yours. Diba? So, ginawa ko yung sa akin, and it works. So, kumbaga, as long as na ginawa muna natin yung gusto nila, ginawa natin yung kanilang preferences and instruction, that's okay. Kumbaga, they're paying us to do the job and the instruction that they ask us to do. Kaya, huwag tayo masyadong magaling. Although, gusto-gusto na natin gawin because it will save time, but still honor their request, their instruction, because they are the boss. Hindi naman ito pa irehan or pagalingan. Kumbaga, we are rendering services, we are rendering consultancy. Now, nag-suggest tayo, if they don't want to accept it, it's up to them. Basta nag-suggest tayo. And then we don't have to insist our suggestion to be heard, diba? Up to them pa rin kung i-consider nila. Kasi may mga boss na ganun lalo na kapag sila yung owner ng company. Sometimes they are not open for suggestion. And that's okay. Let's just do our job. Kumbaga, let's move forward. Let's move on. Kung ayaw mo, di wag. Basta ako sumasahod. Ganun lang naman sometimes bakit ko papahirapan yung sarili ko. Although sometimes it's bothersome naman talaga na, kung nagawa ko lang yan, kung pumayag lang siya sana, ganun. Pero move on na. Kumbaga, ganun kasi in life ng virtual assistant Kumbaga, even sa work naman, diba, sometimes we have to let go naman kapag yung mga bagay na wala tayong control. Hayaan na lang natin. Kumbaga, as long as we get paid for it, that's fine. And that's how you can provide quality services. And the last is do not provide unprofessional service or behavior. Do not show any unprofessional behavior. Hindi ako makaisip ng anything na example about the unprofessional behavior, like makikipag-flirt siguro sa mga babae, di ba, makikipag-flirt ka, alam mo single yung boss mo, tas single ka rin, makikipag-flirt ka sa boss mo. Parang it's an upper rate, especially if you are in a meeting situation or in a group situation wherein your colleague are just observing you or, can see you, your actions, your behavior. Sometimes you have to keep yourself, behave para kung kayo na lang dalawa naman ng boss mo at sa tingin mo naman nagkakaintindihan kayo at okay lang yun. So wala nang problema, it's your life, it's your choice. But kapag nasa mga meeting situation kayo where may involved na other people na ma-judge kayo, iset aside muna natin. Kasi it happens sometimes na may mga ganun na may mga flirtatious thing, lalo kapag both single, it happened. And okay lang naman makahanap ng love life sa pag-virtual assistant. And there is a love life sa pag-virtual assistant. Kaya sabi ko nga sa inyo, pag virtual assistant kasi nasabi nila, wala na akong love life, nakakulong na lang sa car. No. Maraming options dyan kasi makakamit kayo ng mga affirm din naman kung kayo ay meant to be. And then, anything na unprofessional behavior, again, yung i-insist mo yung gusto mo or mag-show ka ng kapag lagi kang late or kapag hindi ka nag-show up, anything na mga unprofessional, let's avoid that to be able to, let's avoid that para hindi natin i-compromise yung ating work as a virtual assistant. And the good thing about, and another thing that you should do, I think, is always compliment, and not always, but have some situation that you compliment your boss. It's good sometimes to, boost their ego. Isa suggestion ko lang, it's hindi dahil sa ikaw ay nagsisip-sip or something. If you see something that they deserve to be acknowledged or to be praised of the good work that they did, especially for your colleague and for you and for your career, give them some acknowledgement and thank them. Sometimes it change somebody's life kapag nakakarinig sila ng ganun. Kasi even kahit sila ay customer and boss natin, sometimes, they're still human. They deserve to be acknowledged as well. And you never know if yung acknowledgement and yung thank you na ma-receive nila sa inyo means a lot to them. So you are also changing their life as well. So continuous learning and have a room for growth. Kasi again, ang only change lang natin, anything that is permanent in this virtual assistant world is change, which means technology often change. And then you have to keep up with the new changes and technology and AIs and, and anything that's related to the technology, because again, ang virtual assistant is providing services remotely through modern technology. If you're not open to change or accepting new technology, it will be difficult for you to adjust in a virtual world. Kaya nga, always continue to learn, always read book or keep up yourself with the new trend about technology, about your niche and whatever is trending sa inyong niche and the services and industries that you never know if you could innovate your services, and then there's another room for more services for you. So just keep learning and keep growing. And then again, it's not all about money, but if your goal is to, progress with your career, just continue learning and have a room for growth. Lastly, that I can give as an advice, as a virtual assistant myself and a business owner, regardless of how successful you are as a virtual assistant or how inspired you are or how, no matter regardless how hardworking you are, always take care of yourself. Always take care of your well-being. And the reason why I'm saying that is I have experienced that before. When I was starting my virtual assistant career, I was so driven to progress and to earn more that I didn't think about my health. I didn't think about my tomorrow. Like, I never think about my socialization, about me going to church. I just wanted to be on my computer and work hard and serve, provide services for 16 hours, 16 to 18 hours. I forgot about having, enough hours of sleep, even drinking water, even going to the bathroom. I have to hold it off for a little while because I'm too busy. And that's the thing that you shouldn't forget is yourself. Always love yourself. Because kung ano man yung mga nare-receive mo na blessings from God nowadays, if you didn't take care of your body and your well-being, baliwala yung inyong mga savings. Kasi, again, kung wala naman kayong HMO, and then yung savings ninyo, yung ini-earn ninyo is mapupunta lang sa hospital or whatever medication that you will be needing soon. Kaya always take care of yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. So have time. Ako kasi before, I don't care kung I am just staying in my room for 24 hours, 24/7. I don't even go out kasi I was focused on earning money. I was focused on having some amount savings on my bank account. My goal is to have this amount on my savings account. I didn't think about going out, having some socialization, enjoying my life, or even go to church to pray and to say, thank you, Lord, for the blessings that I am well and that I am not sick, that I am able to provide for my family. I didn't think about those times. And until I feel so exhausted, even my son, I was like, tatlo lang kami dito sa bahay namin. And then yung nanay ko and then yung son ko, he's growing and he's always like knocking on my door and saying, Mom, can we eat or can we order food? And I will just, he's asking a lot of things. He wanted to be close to me and he's asking a lot of things. And my answer is like, okay, but I'm just focusing on my computer and on my work. I didn't even understand what he was trying to tell me. My response is just, okay, just agreeing so that he can just go and be okay. And then, at some point, na-risk ko yung relationship ko with my son and I lose those time already kasi yun nga, yung lost time natin na while they're growing, hindi na natin yun may ibalik. And even if we try to catch up, it's too late. Kasi again, my son now is 18 years old, pero during the time that he was 9 or 10, I was not focusing on him or bonding with him even kasi nga focus ko is yung as a single mother, my focus ko is to earn money. And even to my mom, we barely see each other. Nandito ko sa room ko, nanay ko nandun sa baba, nagluluto, nagpo-provide. Dinadalan pa niya ako ng pagkain dito. And then the bad thing, hindi man lang ako makatayo. Dahil busy ako, hindi man lang ako tumatayo para bumaba at doon kumain. Dinadalhan pa ako para kung may sakit na tao kahit wala akong sakit. Busy lang talaga ako. So it's not good. Kaya again, have some time for yourself. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, if you wanted to become a virtual assistant, ask those questions. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve to switching to virtual assistant? And then if you are on the way to your success to virtual assistant, make sure na you are not going sideways doon sa iyong goal na yon. Kasi kung ang goal mo is to have some quality time with your family, to have work-life balance, then just do it. And then make sure na you are just working 4 hours or 8 hours, whatever you prefer. And make sure you spend more time with your family if that's important to you. Now, if your goal naman is to have house and lot and be able to provide for your family para magkaroon kayo ng sariling bahay, make sure na you still spend time with them and then you have time for yourself, your well-being, that you're taking vitamins, doing some exercise, having socialization, still meeting up with friends and family. Kasi yung mga bagay na yun, hindi ko yung ginawa talaga before. I was able to save money, I was able to buy house, I was able to buy car. But there are times or there are some aspect of my life na I neglect, na I cannot get back doon sa mga bagay na yun. And even if I try to patch them now or catch up, wala na. It's useless na. It's pointless na. Kaya nga, na-build ko din itong VA Helper is to help you understand the consequences of being a virtual assistant. And as much as I can, if I can guide you and then open your eyes if you are lost. And again, sabi ko nga, dito sa pagiging virtual assistant, may mga toolkit ako dyan. And then may mga free videos din ako dyan. And even dun sa mga YouTube, always check my YouTube channel. Kasi may mga advices akong binibigay doon na something na katulad ng mga na-i-encounter ngayon ng mga ibang VAs na ikakasakit sila kasi nga ganun na overpating sila, overwork, or sometimes naman, hindi sila nababayaran ng clients or like how to deal with the toxic clients or customer or colleagues. Sometimes yung emotional stress kasi sa pagiging virtual assistant is too much. Kaya nga yun yung mga something na hindi yan sinasabi ng mga nag-offer lang ng kung ano-anong mga courses dyan. they don't care about your well-being, or maybe they care, but they just don't realize that you need to hear those things. And I'm here, the virtual VA, so that I can guide you. I can give you some insight about the reality. And, we build a community. Let's build a community that help each other. Yung mga virtual assistant, like a single mom, professional as well. Let's help each other and let's connect. And, yeah, that's all for this course. And again, meron akong mga courses dyan available for free. And meron din ako mga lessons for some subscription fee as well. Feel free to check them out. And if you wanted to book a one-on-one appointment with me so that we can talk and we can discuss your specific situation, if I can give you some advice as a career coach, please feel free to book that. And if you wanted to participate in our workshop, 10 people per week, then please feel free to book our workshop session every Saturday. It's for 1 hour. And see you there. Thank you.